Galimera, Galimera, Galimera. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I wasn't quite sure that we were going to connect there. Had to wait quite a while. However, as you can see, we've got the guys and gals here on the veranda at the moment. Let's see if this little one is going to come and have something out of me hand. Are you going to have something out of my hand, darling? Are you? Are you still a bit shy? Are you still a bit shy? There we go. Anyway, let's chuck a little bit down there for them. They're all rushing about. There you go. The love of chickens. There you go. Aren't they gorgeous? There you go. Every morning. The only problem is they sometimes leave little packages of love on the veranda, so I'm always having to clean up. Anyway, let's have a look and see what's been going on. It has been what I shall only describe as a very eventful night here in Zakynthos, and that will be made apparent in the news. Just having a look at the weather this morning. It's absolutely gorgeous yet again today. It was really hot yesterday. Jane said that her car thermometer was showing 30 degrees Celsius yesterday when she was doing some odd jobs around. And basically, yeah, it's been a very, very hot day. It's probably going to get even hotter today. Just want to say a quick thank you to lovely Amanda, who's sent me her concise weather forecast. She said, morning, Ginge. Wednesday's weather, she said, sunny and warm. Highs of 27 degrees, but it will feel like 30. Enjoy the day. Well, I've got to be honest, yesterday it was 30. Felt more like 35, to be honest. And I did get a bit more of a sunburn on my feet again as well. Just sat chilling out. And again, we were busy cleaning yesterday like Trojans. And I also made yesterday's Northern Soul show ready for the bank holiday weekend on beatsradio.co.uk. Right, okay, let's have a quick look and see what's been going on here in Greece and also around Zakynthos as well. And I've got to be honest, the news today is very interesting. One thing I didn't actually mention to you quickly, arrivals today. We're expecting one flight from the Netherlands with TUI. We're also expecting a second flight from the Netherlands. This one's with Transavia. And we're also expecting a flight from Gatwick Airport with EasyJet. Now, hopefully, I've been told that flight is coming. And it'll be interesting to see if it turns up, how many people are on it. And I'll get my sources at the airport to let me know exactly how many people arrive. Again, nothing's been said in the local press about an arrival of a British flight at all, as it seems to be the way, because I think they're not counting these as proper arrivals in the true sense of the word, as we are still waiting, obviously, to see if the UK goes onto the green list. Greece goes onto the green list as far as the UK is concerned, and then obviously we want that to happen at some point, but we're still obviously waiting for that, and the jury is out. Right now, COVID within the last 24 hours in Greece, again, it's not looking fantastic at the moment. Remember how I was saying we'd been down? We had 887, and then it was 1,381. Now it has crept up to 2,433 new infections recorded yesterday. That also includes 3 new cases were identified after checks into the country. Good thing about that was down on the day before where we had 6. Now, according to the national statistics, there was no cases reported on Macardo. There were 3 cases on Kefalonia. There were 51 cases on Corfu. And Zakynthos on the national stats is recording 4 cases. However, at the moment, checking the local press, there's been no locally reported cases at the moment. So maybe the national stats are just playing catch up at the moment with what's been happening on the ground. Right. As for deaths, believe it or not, we reported 50 deaths yesterday. Today, 50 deaths again. So that was quite unusual across Greece. Once again, our condolences to those families affected. That brings the death toll now to 11,872 people since the beginning of the pandemic. And again, as normally reported, 96% of those had underlying health conditions or were over the age of 70. And once again, our condolences to those people affected. When it comes to incubation cases in hospital at the moment, that actually is good news because those have fallen slightly. We did report before 563. Well, that's down to 556. 345 of those are male and 211 of those are female. So at least incubated cases is moving in the right direction, which is down. Right, as for today's news then, there's quite a bit of news to get through and some of it is very interesting indeed. Greece has passed the 5 million vaccinations. This was an announcement on Twitter yesterday by the Greek Prime Minister, Mr. Mitsotakis. He confirmed Monday Greece broke the barrier of 5 million vaccinations. 3,280,000 citizens have received at least one dose of the vaccine, and of these, 1,810,000 are fully vaccinated. He said, we are continuing at a fast pace towards our goal of freedom. Yeah, where we heard that before. At the last census in 2019, the population of Greece was recorded at 10.72 million. Greek Prime Minister Mitsotakis said on Tuesday in statements following the conclusion of the EU summit, the option of vaccinating children aged 12 or older will be discussed as soon as the European Medicines Agency approves them. He says such a decision would provide a new dynamic for vaccinations, he told journalists. He also noted that the European Commission has secured supplemented doses of COVID vaccines for 2022 and for 2023, as a third dose might be necessary 9 to 12 months after the first shot. Anyway, Mitsotakis expressed his satisfaction that the proposal for a common certificate of COVID-19 vaccination was accepted by the European leaders and expressed the hope that the certificate will be implemented under common rules for all EU countries as soon as possible. And just an aside to that, a 63-year-old from Mytilene who was treated at the Hospital of Mytilene, that's a little island, since the 1st of April, has passed away. Now, according to reliable information, the woman had suffered a thrombolytic event just a few days after she was vaccinated with the AstraZeneca at the Koloni Health Centre on the island. So again, we'll see what is said of that in the press. Anyway, local press here in Zakynthos are describing last night's operation by Zakynthos police to make arrests of suspects involved in a shooting in the KTEO area as something out of a movie. Yes, reports had been reported of a shooting earlier in the afternoon in the area of Germanos. Anyway, police officers, it said, fought a battle with one of the alleged perpetrators. Officers reportedly went to the home of a 31-year-old assailant to make an arrest. As at first they spotted the man's car and surrounded the residence. Now, he was then called out but stubbornly refused to leave his house, while according to police sources, he had a gun loaded and ready to fire while bullets were found and seized. Anyway, they don't say that he actually fired at the moment at this time. Anyway, then the tones went up. This is the language being used in the Greek press. And then officers broke into the house and arrested the alleged perpetrator. Obviously, they then assaulted the building. Then a friend started pushing the officers to release the man, resulting in one of the police officers involved in the operation falling and being very slightly injured. Now, according to sources, for a few minutes there was a panic between the police officers, the family, and the alleged perpetrator and his friend. Anyway, everything calmed down when the 31-year-old was removed from the scene in a patrol car and then taken to the Zakynthos police station. Now, according to police sources, his friend, and this is the wording in the press at the moment, who shot the officers, was also arrested. So again, conflicting report there. The Hermes paper said that shots were fired. Anyway, finally, as far as the second offender is concerned, he is also being sought. So there's a bit of Greeklish coming in there. But basically, there was an issue with police trying to make an arrest over basically a shooting yesterday afternoon here on the island. And then obviously it all got heated when they went to arrest him. It's still not 100% clear as to the full details of it, but that is the details that are being carried in the Greek press at the moment. So again, it is interesting, shall we say, and we'll see if we get any more clarity on that as the day goes on. Anyway, interestingly, big question here on Zakynthos at the moment is about the price of unleaded fuel in Greece. It seems data on the price of unleaded fuel in Greece is not looking good. It's rather unpleasant. Anyway, specifically last year, when due to the pandemic, the prices were at low levels. Now they have risen as gas station owners on Zakynthos admit that they even noted that the prices reached as high as 1.63 euros per litre. I'm sure I've seen it even higher than 1.63 euros. I'm sure I've seen it as high as 171 in certain parts of the island. But anyway, according to the data provided by the website alphamerida.gr, on May the 21st, 2020, the average price of unleaded was 1.33 euros, i.e. 28.4 cents or 21.3% lower than this year. What implies implies to the cost of travel. Now, what they're saying is that for a car with a consumption of 7 litres per 100 kilometres, the cost of a route of, say, 1,000 kilometres rises to about 113 euros, when last year the same route was around 93 euros, which again, that's a considerable increase in price. I've got to be honest, they said the cheapest price I've seen unleaded at the moment on the island is probably about €1 58.9 a litre, and that is on the Gitani Road. Again, what we find here in Zakynthos, depending on where the petrol stations are located, will sometimes reflect the price that you're going to pay for your fuel. However, let me know what you're paying for fuel in the UK, because I'm just curious to see what the comparison is. I do know at the moment it has been reported that the fuel in Greece is probably some of the most expensive in Europe. So once again, let us know in the comments, what is the price of fuel where you are in the UK at the moment, just as an exercise? And also here on the island, what's the cheapest you've found the fuel, and what's the most expensive you've seen the fuel? The most expensive I've seen it at is 171, and that is down in Vasilikos. I think everybody who lives on the island knows where I mean. It is one of the most out-of-the-way garages on the island. And obviously they might charge the extra because obviously it's difficult to get stuff down there, and they probably don't get that much passing trade. But anyway, just curious to know, what are you paying for a gallon of fuel where you are? Oh, sorry, a litre of fuel where you are. You're showing your age there, Ginge. And a lovely story, which I thought was absolutely awesome. And finally, story, it seems the Hellenic Air Force is historic MJ755 Spitfire, that's the registration number, by the way, last seen in the Attica skies 68 years ago, is to fly over the Greek capital once again this Thursday when it returns from the United Kingdom, where it has been fully restored. all right, and it is now, believe it or not, doing a return flight all the way from the UK back to Greece. Talking to the state-run news agency, the vice president of the Icarus Foundation that has financed the restoration of this unique plane for the Hellenic Air Force, Dimitris Kolis, said that the Spitfire will leave England on May the 25th. And after flying via France, it won't be going via Belarus, that's for sure, France and Italy, it will arrive in Greece on Thursday. And it's going to land on Corfu and then at Ionia. And from there, it will fly to Thakon. I'm hoping, actually, it's in Corfu. I hope it might make a little jolly over Zakynthos on its way to go up to Teo, which is obviously up near outside of Athens. Anyway, in fact, once it enters Greek airspace, it will be given the honour of an escort by fighter aircraft from the Hellenic Air Force. In total, it will fly for 10 hours from England to Athens. He added, saying that the aircraft was expected to land in Teo at 3 p.m. local time on Thursday. Kalaris said the training of Greek pilots that will fly the plane during the anniversary events, which will begin in UK in June because everything was now closed due to the pandemic. He said that the MJ755 was one of 77 Spitfires presented to the Hellenic Royal Air Force at the time to help rebuild Greece's fleet during delivered to Athens by RAF pilot George Dunn DFC on February the 27th, 1947. In April of that year, it joined the 335th Royal Hellenic Pursuit Squadron in Cedes, while from 1949 it was used as a training aircraft for military pilots in Teo. In 1950, it was transferred to the State Aircraft Factory at Lefario, where it was converted into a photo reconnaissance plane. Anyway, its last flight was in 1953, the year of the coronation, before it was permanently grounded and turned into an exhibit. First at the Teo Air Base and then in the courtyard of the War Museum in Athens. It was then transferred back to Teo in 1995 after the creation of the Air Force Museum in 2018. That's the Greek Air Force Museum. And it was then sent for special restoration to Biggin Hill, where they actually specialise in the restoration of these type of aircraft, and it's had a complete makeover, and I think that's fantastic. I shall look forward to seeing that bird fly, and hopefully at some point, who knows, we're going to have to do a pilgrimage up to the Air Force Museum over there in the Teo area and go and have a look for ourselves. But anyway, let's have a quick look at some of the comments coming in. I can already see people putting down their petrol prices as well. Big shout out to Margaret Miller this morning. Lovely to have you with us. Brian Darlington is watching as well. Nice to see you tuning in. Heather Nash is watching. Steve Hinkling over there in Stoke-on-Trent is looking in. He says, Dave Matthews says, good morning from Bryce. Weather getting better. Not fishing today, but going tomorrow, as it means I'm home for this afternoon show. Thank you for that, David. I hope you're going to be dancing in your kitchen as you always seem to enjoy doing. And I love watching the little video clips. And I have to laugh every time you put one up. The old powers that be whip you down occasionally as well as you hit the copyright barrier. But bless you, I love it to see you and your lovely wife Michelle dancing in the kitchens to the reggae, and also your information on the Seychelles as well. I love that as well. Anyway, Heather Nash is also tuning in. She says, good morning to you and Jane. I haven't seen the chickens for a while. Lovely to see them. Bless. We're actually trying to figure out if one of the chickens might have been the chicken that had the injured leg. And we're kind of thinking maybe it's healed, but we're not 100% sure. But anyway, if it has healed, it's a bonus. And yes, it's nice to have the chickens hanging around as well. Anyway, Taft Blight is watching. Raffredge, buddy, nice to see you tuning in. Steve Hinkling says, Galimera don't get too sunburnt. Go down to the beach while you can. Yeah, you're totally right. It's really weird. We're so feeling, Jane and I, that we're now running out of time till we're back at work, hopefully. Still, Mitsotakis, get that music ban lifted. Let's get some sense of normality going. Also, let's get people inside to be able to eat and enjoy themselves instead of having to do it all outdoors at the moment. Let's basically get some common sense going, and also get this curfew lifted as well. 12:30 knock off, no way. Please go back to normal timings. It's the summer, it's hot, people have been tested before they come, people have had the vaccination before they arrive, some of them, so therefore technically we should be safe. All right, so please, common sense, please, sir. Get this curfew lifted, get this music ban sorted, and let's have a proper season as well. Anyway, Peter Taplight says, morning, Ginge, from a sunny Wales for a change. Oh, bless you, you got sun. Tim Troon, Rapper Edge Buddy, is also tuning in. Andy Dance is tuning in as well. Julie White says, the Gatwick flight is halfway there. Don't think Greece announced as still amber, not classed as holiday makers, just essential travellers. Yeah, that's probably, again, you're only allowed to come here if it's essential travel. Again, on the last flight that we had that came from Liverpool, all of those people on there were all either friends, relatives of people making the essential journey to see families, or they were people with businesses or homes here who had obviously managed to get out of the country and get back to sort out and get their businesses up and running or check on their properties. So they were essential travellers. Although I had heard that the flight actually is more or less full from Gatwick. And I do know, speaking to people yesterday, there are people who've literally bought 2 tickets to get to Zakynthos, one to go with one company and then a standby to go British Airways to Athens, and if need be to fly in from Athens to get here rather than flying in direct. All right, so again, people finding all sorts of ways to get around the confusion of restrictions and try and get here to Zakynthos, and they've actually just turned around and said, Ginge, once we arrive, that's it. We're stopping here for 3 months as long as we're allowed to on our passport, do the 90 days, and hopefully after 90 days, things may have changed. So once again, that's the option. If you're one of those people that can afford to do that, has the time to do that, then obviously that is what other people are starting to do to basically try and get here and have some kind of holiday here. Anyway, Rachel Hanson is watching as well. Brian Darlington says, morning, Ginge, I'm feeling hopeful June the 7th announcement. We're all feeling hopeful June the 7th. All I'm saying now is, Boris, take us out of the amber, put us on the green. We need you to do that. That's your part of the deal now, Boris. Start letting people out of the UK, let them go on holidays. All this Indian variant bloody hyper crap, basically. Let's put it in context. If you're flying away somewhere, the people that you're going to be surrounded by at the airport should have all been tested. They should have all, they may have had their vaccination. And so therefore, when you get on that plane, you're in a safer environment on an aeroplane with a refiltered air system than what you are standing around maybe to people in the street. However, they have been tested and they have had the vaccination, most of the people there. So therefore, technically, it should be safe. So what is the problem? What is the problem? Let's get these flights in the air. Let's get the holiday season back on track. Let's get people traveling. Let's have proper freedom. We're all banging on about freedom, freedom, freedom. Mitsotakis' Operation Freedom. This is people being told you can't go away is not freedom, all right? And we're doing it for your best interest. Bollocks. That's all I'm going to say on that. Anyway, Karen Bush is watching, and I've been given the price of fuel at the moment. Julie White says it's £1.21 per litre here in Yorkshire, cheaper at Morrison's. I bet he'll appreciate that, Mr. Morrison. Anyway, there you go, 121. So we're paying 153 is what they say the average should be, but I know for a fact I can get my fuel here for about 158.9. That's probably the cheapest I've seen round on the island. So again, that is a lot more expensive than 121 a litre, which would probably work out about €1, about €1.20-ish, I would say. That would be what the price would be for us here. Anyway, Robert Earp says, yes, Ginge, 130 a litre. Cy Grinley, I know you're running a taxi firm. What are you buying your fuel in for, fella? He's tuning in at the moment. Mike Glattonley is tuning in as well. Rachel Hanson is tuning in. Dave Matthews says, need a bank load. Need a bank load on the motorway stops. Oh, you need a bank loan, mate. Okay, you need a bank loan on motorway stops for fuel. It's always been the way, hasn't it? You always pay more on the motorway than what you do at your local garage somewhere. And again, that's not frowned upon, is it? And as always, you pay more for everything on the motorways, don't you? Whether it's a Greg's sausage roll or a McDonald's, you pay more on the motorways. There you go. Ian Booth says, morning, Ginge and Jane. Julie Wright says, and reduce bloody tests. Prices 320 for a family is not fair. Once again, I should have mentioned that, Julie, and you're so right. Let's get the test of costing down, because again, if France can do it for €15, and we're talking €60 here for the test to be able to fly, where it's only €15 for the test to work, the cost of testing should be reduced, or if not, it should be free. You've already paid for it in your taxes, all the people over there in the UK. So you're paying for it again twice. So I've just seen £10 for egg on toast actually going up on the list there of prices for food on the motorways now. Anyway, Catherine Wilson-Runzy says, oh, bullshit. Thank you for that, Catherine. I agree totally. Catherine Wilson, trapped in the UK. Thank you, my darling. She obviously wants to get away. Jerry Coyle is watching, and Catherine Wilson also said, go to London, £10 for egg on toast. Well, I can tell you now, a Magdalena's breakfast is probably around about €5 something, and you'll get everything with that breakfast. Tea, coffee, orange juice, eggs, bacon, sausage, beans, mushrooms, tomato, toast, fried toast as well. Everything there. So again, I'm looking forward to a Magdalena's breakfast, I've got to be honest. Anyway, listen, I digress. Katrina Wilson has now said, and bloody lovely. True, very, very true indeed. Right, now listen, today again a busy day for me. That's the reason why the blog has gone out a little bit early this morning, rushing about, sorting stuff out. Once again, it's a broadcast day today, Requests and Inspirations show. I don't know how much longer that show is going to run, basically because I do that show live, obviously, and it is done from Studio One here in Macardo. As soon as that music ban is lifted, that show will stop and that will be rested until the end of the season. But the two shows for Beats Radio, the Dance Anthem shows and the Northern Soul shows, they will continue, and they will continue to be broadcast on beatsradio.co.uk throughout the season. The plan is this: if the Greek government decide that they're going to go back to normal hours, all right, my plan is this: I want to record those shows live with an audience at Magdalena's 2 nights a week. One night will be the Dance Anthem show, and then the second show, the Northern Soul show, will be recorded live from within Magdalena's and then broadcast at the weekend on beatsradio.co.uk. And the idea of those shows, they're going to become like request shows within the genre, and I will mix in dance anthems with some requests, also the Northern Soul, again with requests, but with a live audience. And you can also take part in those shows as well if they lift the 12:30 curfew time. I really want to try and really capitalise on doing live broadcasting. It won't be live because of the problems that entails, but they will definitely be shows recorded in front of a live audience, and you can take part in those shows when you're over here on holiday. But anyway, that's for the future. Hopefully Mitsotakis get that music ban down, get testing at a good price, Boris, and also put Greece back onto green where we should be, not in amber but on green, so we can get people over here and businesses can then obviously start. Anyway, just remind you, the show this afternoon, 3 p.m. your time in the UK, which is 5 p.m. my time here. 2 hours of requests and inspiration. Just pop down below. Oh, and what we're going to do today, we're going to play the winning song from the Eurovision Song Contest. Plus, as well, we're going to play as well this afternoon the song that Xanti's Dilemma, when I was managing them, the song that we had put forward for the Eurovision Song Contest that we were asked to select. And then we were told our song was not being chosen along with 5 other songs because Simon Cowell and Psycho Music were basically trying to take over the Eurovision at the time. And there was a big court case about us getting our costs back for the money that we spent producing the record. Anyway, I'm going to play that this afternoon. You can listen to Look Up. Okay, from Xanti's Dilemma, which was their Eurovision songs, which was stopped from being submitted because of changes to the rules, which was all so unfair at the time, but it's past history now. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I've just heard a little message, in and out, shake it all about, stay in, go out. Bang that on. Okay, thank you, my darling. Oh, she's having a great time here, Catherine Wilson Rumsey. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll keep my ear to the ground. If I hear anything, I will let you know. And once again, you have a good day wherever you might be in the world. And I will see you this afternoon, 3 p.m. UK time, which is 5 p.m. Greek time, for requests and inspiration. And put your music requests in the comments below. I'll be putting something up online, and you can obviously put your requests there as well. And I will see you this afternoon. You take care. Have a great day and enjoy. I'm not sure what your weather's like at the moment, but it sounds like it might be getting a little bit better, and I will see you soon. Catch you later. Ta-ra.